Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway's Fall Festival 2, the Piney Lasky Memorial. At this time, in anticipation of our 6 p.m. green flag, we ask that each and every one of you please rise up from your seats, and gentlemen, remove your caps for our opening ceremonies. If you are moving around the Speedway grounds, we ask that you pause with us momentarily, as tonight's invocation will be delivered by the Reverend Bill Waugh, and the singing of tonight's national anthem will be performed by Jim Smith. So at this time, to officially kick off the Piney Lasky Memorial Fall Festival 2, we turn the microphone over to Reverend Bill Waugh.
Thank you, Mike. Will you join with me in prayer? Father God, it is a privilege to be here tonight in memory of a great man. A man who not only loved racing, he loved racers. We thank you for the legacy of Piney Lasky, and we thank you that it continues in his family. Father, tonight we ask your gift of safety for all of us as we compete on the track, work in the pits, or just watch the race. Help us, Father, to enjoy this night and to be able to go home with gratitude for a great night at racing. With gratitude for all that we've received, we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Barry Audi crew member Jim Smith.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Laps the distance for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Final event of the season, green flag is out, and Fall Festival 2 is underway at the Motordrome Speedway on Piney Lasky Memorial Weekend. Tom Knight Sr. is the early race leader with pressure from Dink Colarusso, and Adam Kostelnik, the race fast qualifier in the 05, slides into third. Side by side, our teammates Colarusso and Kostelnik, both now Motordrome champions in their careers. Tom Knight Sr. still up front in car 76 as the eldest driver in this field. Challenge for the lead, former champion Adam Kostelnik making rear bumper contact with the 76 of Tom Knight Sr. as they go side by side on the front straight. Officially on lap 3 of 40, Tom Knight Sr. held a lead by a couple of inches, but now Kostelnik is by himself in the lead and has a 2 to 3 car length advantage now in turn 3. The battle for fourth, Tony Manganello side by side with the 48 of Mike Bacalon. As the running order on lap 4, Kostelnik, Knight, Colarusso, Manganello, Bacalon, Dustin Blank, and Teddy Gabala. Then Jonathan Heilman, Jason Holder completing the top 10. And look at this, teammates come together in turn number 2 as Manganello gets into champion Dink Colarusso. And the AK chassis teammates are in the grass after making contact, battling for third position with one another. Restarts just behind the Lake Erie Speedway champion, Jeff Campbell from Harbor Creek. As the green flag waves, track champions go side by side at the back of the field. Adam Kostelnik, the race leader, Tom Knight Sr. second, Mike Bacalon third, Dustin Blank fourth, and Teddy Gabala in the top five. Gabala feeling the pressure of the 15 car of Jonathan Heilman. Battle now as the 3 of Gabala was just feeling pressure from the 15 of Heilman. Now he moves to the inside of Dustin Blank, and they go side by side, 3 wide on the front straight. In the fight for 4th position, it's Heilman, Blank, and Gabala on lap 8 of 40. And the 15 of Heilman trying to take a spot away from Gabala just as Gabala was challenging Blank. We may go 3 wide again here. Heilman slips through and gains 2 spots in 1 lap. The 15 of Jonathan Heilman now up into 4th position after riding in 6th last lap. Heated action in the middle of the field. Meanwhile, Adam Kostelnik is running away with the lead in the 05 car, the East McKeesport veteran. He's been a champion of the Motordrome Speedway, a champion of the Jennerstown Speedway in years past, but has not been to victory lane in the street stock division in 2009. Heilman now challenging Mike Bacalon for 3rd position. So far, Jonathan Heilman definitely the man on the move. We're working lap number 11. And the 3 of Gabala now dives to the inside and finally takes the position away from Dustin Blank after challenging for many laps. Track champion Dink Colarusso in the 0 is leaking fluid on the speedway and will be black flagged. No doubt a result of the collision with his teammate Tony Manganello. And the officials taking 1 more lap just to inspect. And now it seems that the fluid may not be coming out of the O. Oh, and we have a collision on the back straight. Dustin Blank spins. Jason Holder in the 74 goes around. Great job by Jeff Zellweger to miss him. Keep your eyes on him. Teddy Gabala 5th, and they stack him up back there. We'll also watch the 0 of Colarusso to see if he's losing fluid as the green flag waves. And after Jonathan Heilman was showing strength early in this event, Teddy Gabala moves to his outside. And now Gabala challenging to reclaim the 4th position. Jason Holder pulls out of competition. And the battle for 4th, now a 3-car fight on lap 15. Heilman, Gabala, and Colarusso. Colarusso recovering from the caution flag incident that sent him to the tail. Adam Kostelnik with half a straightaway lead over the 76 of Tom Knight Sr. And we're still stacked up in a 3-car battle, coming off 4 for the 4th position. It's Heilman, Gabala, and Colarusso, the 15 car of Heilman, with his vision impaired, maintaining the 4th position. Gabala in the 3 was challenging him after the restart, and Colarusso in the 0 working his way up and making contact with the rear of Heilman's machine. A great job and an excellent save in turn 3 by the driver of the Nemacolin Woodlands, Martinelli's Auto 15, Jonathan Heilman. Heilman won 5 features a year ago and found victory lane in 2009. Teddy Gabala in the 3 car with 2 wins last season. Still looking for his first win of 09, and tonight is the last opportunity to get that victory here in the Fall Festival 2. And those 3 cars are having a torrid fight on lap 19 for position 4, and I think they're actually gaining on the 3rd place car of Mike Bacalon as Gabala secures the 4th spot momentarily after Colarusso made the contact with Heilman. And it looks like Gabala is going to be ready to challenge Mike Bacalon for 3rd. Gabala down on the apron of the Speedway, dirt tracks the car and trying to gain another half car length on Bacalon's 48 car. Just at the midpoint last lap. And Gabala into the rear bumper of Bacalon on the back straight. Dink Colarusso in the 0 now moves to the outside of Jonathan Heilman on the back straight. They go side by side, and now all of these machines are closing in on Tom Knight Sr., who is slowed in turn 4 and gets a bump from Bacalon. 76 was not under power as he was pulling backward from the 2nd position and trying to get to the pits, and Bacalon hit him squarely in the rear bumper. Knight in car 76 having some kind of mechanical problem which slowed him drastically in turns 3 and 4, and as that 3-car battle closed in, contact was made and we have a caution flag on lap 23 of 40. Tom Knight Sr., the pole starter. Jonathan Heilman 4th in the 15. Dink Colarusso 5th in the 0. Green flag is out. A lead of half a straightaway is erased by the caution flag. And Adam Kostelnik now finds his longtime friend and mentor, Mike Bacalon, behind him. Side by side again go Jonathan Heilman and Teddy Gabala. Side by side now it's Colarusso and Heilman as Gabala secures the 3rd position and closes in on the 48 of Bacalon. Race leader Kostelnik with a big lead but slides the car out of turn 4. The 3 of Gabala looking to the outside of Bacalon. Keep an eye on the leader's car and hope that that slide out of turn 4 was not an indication of a tire problem. Working lap 26. And Gabala in the 3 moves to the outside of Bacalon on the back straight with a great run for 2nd position. Early in the race, Heilman was the man on the move. Now it is clearly Teddy Gabala in car 3. Side by side, Bacalon and Gabala dead even out of turn 4, and this time Gabala by inches officially takes over the runner-up spot on lap 28. Adam Kostelnik in the 05, the race leader, former track champion, winless in the street stocks in 09, but the leading winner in the modifieds with another championship season. And with 10 laps to go, Teddy Gibala all by himself in second spot, Mike Bacalon in third. Dink Colarusso, the leader's teammate, is fourth as 2009 track champion. And Jonathan Heilman in the 15, hanging on to fifth position. Dustin Blank is sixth, Andrew Kostelnik seventh, Jeff Zellweger eighth. Lake Erie Speedway champion in car 1, Jeff Campbell, is ninth. 27 of Steve Long is 10th. At the scoring line, 7 laps to go. Adam Kostelnik with just about a straightaway lead over Teddy Gibala, who has distanced himself from the third place running Mike Bacalon. Dink Colarusso in fourth. And fifth, Jonathan Heilman. Again, last year's winner of this race, Sean Phillips, last year's champion as well, on the trailer after hot laps with an engine problem. And the track champion having a problem on the front straight, the leading winner in the street stocks this year, out of contention now, as his teammate Adam Kostelnik in car 05 has 5 laps to go to his first victory of the year in the biggest race of the year for the Napa Auto Parts Street Stocks. Kostelnik puts the 27 of Steve Long a lap down. Coming out of turn 4, the battle intensifies for third position now. Bacalon in 48, feeling some pressure from the 15 of Jonathan Heilman. Both those drivers have been victorious in 2009. Two laps to go, the signal given to Adam Kostelnik. Double duty driver today as he'll be in modified number 6, coming up in this next 40-lap feature event. White flag for the East McKeesport driver, a former street stock champion, the AK chassis builder and fabricator, the 6-time consecutive modified champion. For the first time in 2009, headed to victory lane as winner of the Fall Festival 40 for the Napa Street Stocks. Coming home in second, Teddy Gibala. In third, it will be by inches, Mike Bacalon over Jonathan Heilman, and finishing fifth, the 94 of Dustin Blank. Kostelnik, you were in victory lane last year in the Piney Lasky Memorial after a hard-fought modified victory, and here you are for the first time all season in a street stock victory lane celebration. First, let's talk about this race car and where you picked it up and what else happened to it throughout the season.
Actually, this is Scott Aiello's car. Jimmy Stokes bought it. I guess he didn't think the car was good enough, or he couldn't race, or whatever the deal was. Scott bought it. This is the only third time I really drove this car, and man, it's an AK chassis car. We had to redo this whole thing. It was the old Don Blank car. Everything was wrong on it. But man, this third time in it, Scott gave me a great opportunity to drive it. AK chassis make these cars fast 3 times, and it's a winner.
Now let's talk a little bit about coming up. You're going to run right over to the starting grid and jump behind the wheel of a modified. What are your odds tonight of defending your title as Piney Lasky Memorial Modified feature winner?
Well, Bobby Ship and Chris Spring's pretty fast, and you know what, we threw something against it. We'll either be heroes or zeros out there, and we're going for checkers, you know what I mean? If it don't work, we're starting in the back, but never roll a shot because, you know what I mean, drivers win the races, not the race cars.
And, you know, you've told me several times that you love street stock racing, be it dirt, be it asphalt. Any idea of what may lie ahead with this fast race car sitting in your shop for 2010?
Nothing's on the thing. This is my agent, Howie. He called me up one night. I think him and Scott were a little drunk and told me to drive the car and win this race. So, but 2010, who knows what could happen. It's a long winter. But right now, man, it's just hats off to Scott Aiello. He wanted this one bad, and this one's for him.
Congratulations on your big victory here in the Street Stock 40 at Fall Festival 2.
All right, I'd like to thank the fans, Aiello Body Shop, Howie Bayless. He's the somewhat car owner, and he's my agent now. He does all my bookings. So Howie could get me fast rides like this. I'll just keep driving. I even cut his hair like that. Maybe that was the deal. But thank the fans for coming out. I got one more. I'd like to be back here. You never know what's going to happen.
There you go, a quick photo session as he has to run to the starting grid for the 40-lap modified feature coming your way in just a moment. Front row, Marion Reno Jr. and Bobby Shipp take the green flag for 40 laps in Fall Festival 2 with the YO Tech Modifieds. Early race leader on the back straight is Bobby Shipp over Marion Reno Jr. Then Lake Erie Speedway 5-time winner Terry Akerley in the 1 and Harry Ofer in the 01. Oh, stacking up in the middle of the field after, and Adam Kostelnik is hard into Lake Erie Speedway champion Eric McRae collecting Mike Lemley in 93. A hard crash after repercussions from the George Nicola 97 car getting crossed up. And the 32 machine of Eric McRae, the champion of Lake Erie Speedway, is heavily damaged in the outside wall. The Motordrome Speedway track champion driver, Adam Kostelnik, heads pit side. As the 04 of Bobby Shipp, the 8 of Marion Reno, the 1 of Terry Akerley, the 01 of Harry Ofer, and the 57 of Jim Nicola bring us back up to full speed. Right now in 6th position, its fastest qualifier, Chris Brink in car 3, multiple feature winner this season. And we got a spin, Rich Nicola in turn 2. Goes around and will bring out the caution flag. As the green flag waves, Chris Brink goes to the outside of Jim Nicola on the back straight, and they nearly made contact back there in the battle for 5th position. Oh, and we've got a hard crash as Jim Nicola, the 2-time champion, is upside down on the front straight. Didn't see the incident begin, but Jim Nicola in the 57 car. Believe he made contact with Chris Brink as those two nearly got together on the back straight. Jim Nicola is a 2-time mod champion, and that's about as high in the air as I've ever seen a modified get here at Motordrome Speedway.
Oh yeah. Too bad we didn't put a camera on the front stretch like we did last year.
He is out of the car and okay, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Nicola driving the car that is typically wheeled by his young son, Jimmy. He's walking around and out of that machine. Green flag is back out. Bobby Shipp with a terrific start over Reno and opens up about a 6-car length hole shot. Terry Akerley in car 1 in 3rd, Harry Ofer in 4th, J.P. Weiser in 5th, and the leader's brother, Brian Shipp, with an engine problem, rolling to a stop in turn 2, and a feature winner for 2009. We'll be bringing out the caution flag here on lap 3. Green flag stays out, and if Shipp can limp to the pit area, we will not need a race stoppage. as the former Charger competitor reaches the pit gate and the green flag stays out. His big brother Bobby Shipp showing the way on lap 4 of 40. Top 5 drivers spaced out around the speedway. 60 car of Mark Flick diving to the inside of the 32 of Matt Piney. Flat right front tire was the problem for Brian Shipp. Watching the best battle on the speedway at mid-pack, headed down the back straight now, the 60 with Mark Flick on board. Diving to the inside of Matt Piney. Right there is the 96 of Lonnie Hoffman and the 6 of Adam Kostelnik recovering from the flat tire pit stop. Mark Flick gains a position. Now the 6 of Kostelnik looking to challenge Piney. Now a pass by Lonnie Hoffman moving around the 60 of Mark Flick. Hoffman 2 feature victories this season. And he does take the spot away as they are closing in on George Nicola's number 97 car. Hoffman nearly using the apron of the speedway to challenge for 6th position. Nicola has it on the outside. Hoffman wants it on the inside. And now Hoffman clears Nicola for 6th spot and brings the 60 of Flick right with him. Now a challenge for 5th position as Lonnie Hoffman is the man on the move. He moves to the outside of Weiser and takes a spot away from the 17 car. Here comes Flick on lap 10 of 40 to do the same around the outside. And the Lake Erie Speedway Rookie of the Year, J.P. Weiser, loses 2 positions. Then it's Nicola in the 97 and Kostelnik in the 6. They will be the next to challenge the young rookie. Bobby Shipp, the race leader in turns 3 and 4, approaches 2 wide lap traffic. It's the Nicola family, Rich and nephew Jimmy. Now they go single file on lap 13 as the leader splits them. It's Bobby Shipp over Marion Reno, Terry Akerley, Harry Ofer, and now Lonnie Hoffman in 5th. Mark Flick is 6th, J.P. Weiser is 7th. We got a problem in turn 3 right in front of the leader. Jimmy Nicola spins, and I think Bobby Shipp got a piece of that one. Bobby Shipp showing body damage as a result of a tangle with the lapped car of Jimmy Nicola here on lap 13 in turn 3. Harry Ofer, Lonnie Hoffman, and Mark Flick the top 5. Green flag is back out. .27 laps remaining, and Lonnie Hoffman has made some good moves through this field, but now the 96 car is feeling the pressure of the Viglione Motorsports entry and Mark Flick. Now Hoffman moves to the outside lane to challenge Harry Ofer for 3rd. Flick is right there, and it's a 3-car fight for the 3rd position behind leader Reno and Akerley in 2nd. Almost 3 wide coming out of turn 4 that time. Working lap number 15 of 40. Bobby Shipp had built up a huge lead before going to the tail as a result of that pit stop following the collision with Jimmy Nicola. And now it's a whole new ball game. Flick in the 60 car takes the spot away from Hoffman and is challenging the 01 of Harry Ofer. Wheel to wheel for 3rd, Ofer. And the 60 of Flick as Terry Akerley reels in race leader Reno. Oh, and Kostelnik spins in front of Panaya and Ship. Some unbelievable moves to get by the Kostelnik number 6 car here on the front straight. Wow. The 14 of Carter Mook and the 04 of Bobby Ship with outstanding reflexes. Holds the lead over Terry Akerley, Harry Opfer, Mark Flick, and Lonnie Hoffman. Side by side on the back straight, Mark Flick in 60, Harry Opfer in 01. They are wheel to wheel for third position, and Flick will get it. The dirt track ace sliding into third position here on lap 18. Marion Reno Jr. now feeling the pressure of Terry Akerley. Terry Akerley now feeling the pressure of Mark Flick. Harry Opfer not too far away from this battle up front. Now Akerley dives to the inside. 5-time winner at Lake Erie Speedway, moving to the inside of Motordrome veteran Reno. And at the midpoint of this event, new leader is Terry Akerley, the Lake Erie Speedway invader. Akerley officially takes the point position now on lap 21, and he makes a miscue in turn 2. Mark Flick gains ground. And after starting just about mid-pack, and we got a spin in turn 2. It's Adam Kostelnik once again in car 6 going around to bring out the caution in turn 2 on lap 21. We're in third, Mark Flick in second, Terry Akerley will restart from the pole, double file restarts from now to the end of the event. And it is Flick who gets the jump on the Lake Erie Speedway invader. Chris Brink moves to the high side of Akerley. Oh, Lonnie Hoffman is hard into the wall as Akerley pinched off the outside lane. Amazingly, Hoffman continues on in car 96. The telltale sign of white wall tires on the 96 car of Lonnie Hoffman indicate that he got into the back straight wall after contact from Terry Akerley in the 1. Hoffman is back to 5th, Harry Opfer in 4th, and we got a caution flag. Matt Panaya sliding into turn number 3 on the apron of the Speedway in car 32. That machine is just about hidden by the inside retaining wall, but the 32 of Panaya does a slide down the back straight into turn 3. And on lap 22, another caution. And no start that time. No start. We're going to wave it off and try again. To restart alongside the hottest driver of the second half of 09, Chris Brink in the 3, and there's the green flag. The 60 of Mark Flick. Oh, we got some problems on the back straight. Everybody keeps them pointed the right direction. Battle for third is Harry Opfer to the outside of Terry Akerley. Akerley briefly led this event, now in jeopardy of going back to 4th. And we got a spin in turn 2. It's Troy Knight in car 76, the modified rookie who goes around. And a caution flag will wave just outside of turn 2. A pair of Lake Erie regulars. Mook in the 14, Weiser in the 17. Mark Flick grabs the lead from Chris Brink. Side by side, it's Akerley and Opfer. Working lap 25 of 40. Mark Flick the leader, Chris Brink in second. They have broken away by several car lengths from third place driver Terry Akerley and the 01 of Harry Ofer. Akerley slides the car out of turn 4 and causes everybody to back off the hammer for just a moment, but it's now Bobby Shipp who has completed a pass of Lonnie Hoffman for 5th, who is challenging Ofer for 4th just as quickly after being involved in that tangle with Jimmy Nicola while leading. Now Shipp gets a little sideways in the high groove. That time, third place driver Terry Akerley way sideways in turn 4. Let's see if Ofer or Hoffman can capitalize on that miscue here on lap 29 of 40. Laps to go, and now Chris Brink in the 3 closes in another couple of car lengths on race leader Mark Flick. Headed into turn 1, it's an advantage of about 4 car lengths, now down to about 3 or maybe 2. On the back straight, Brink stays right with him after going to the tail of this field for a caution flag incident. The Glenn Campbell Gambler. And Mark Flick in car 60. Race leader Mark Flick in the Viglione Racing number 60, once known as the Glass Man for his smooth driving style, out in front in his first asphalt start in several seasons. And Chris Brink to his outside. Battle for the lead on the back straight intensifies. With 7 laps to go, Chris Brink prefers the outside line of Motordrome Speedway, and that's here where he will have to make a pass of Mark Flick. On lap 34, Brink again slides to the outside. Lap car of Rich Nicola will be approached in turns 3 and 4, and Flick's lead is less than a car length in the center of the back straight. This time, there are 5 laps to go. Last season, it was the 60 car in victory lane with Adam Kostelnik at the wheel, and after light rear bumper contact from Chris Brink headed into turn 1, the lead battle entering turn 3 is about a car length and a half separation between Chris Brink in second and Mark Flick the leader. All kinds of action in the middle of the pack, but that is a battle that is a straightaway behind the race leaders. 3 laps to go in the Fall Festival 40 for the Wyotech Modifieds. Mark Flick is clearly the superior race car in turn 3. And we got a car stopped at the entrance to the back straight out of turn 2. It's Adam Kostelnik. Chris Brink in second in car 3. Terry Akerley in third. Lonnie Hoffman in fourth. Harry Ofer in fifth. Green flag is out. And Chris Brink lost a car length or so on that restart on the front straight, and it is in turn 3 that each lap Mark Flick is able to gain and put some distance between himself and Brink. Now Lonnie Hoffman is in third as he makes a pass of Terry Akerley and challenges Chris Brink. Lonnie Hoffman got into the outside wall several laps ago, but the car may be handling just fine. Chris Brink is off the pace, retiring from the second position. It's now Lonnie Hoffman, the runner-up. This time around, the white flag will wave. Mark Flick is the race leader. After more than 5 years of out, and we've got a caution flag. Chris Brink has rolled to a stop in turn number 3. Exactly what Lonnie Hoffman needed is a caution flag with 1 lap to go. Green, white, checker. Back up to full speed and a great hole shot on the start by the 60 of Mark Flick. Can Hoffman continue his rise up through this field in the 96 car? In turn 3, Hoffman is able to gain ground where Brink had been losing ground to Flick. White flag is waving and Flick's lead is about 4 car lengths. Moving on to lap 41 because of the caution flag. And the driver from Apollo, Pennsylvania, second generation racer, many-time dirt track champion, many-time asphalt champion. And coming to the steering wheel of the Viglione Racing 60 for the first time, Mark Flick will win the Fall Festival over Lonnie Hoffman, Bobby Shipp, Terry Akerley, and Marion Reno Jr. Mark Flick, we have a Subway gift certificate for you. I want you to tell the race fans just for a moment a little bit about your history here at Motordrome Speedway and how long it's been since you've been on the pavement.
Well, if you want to do the history, I won a street stock championship down here when it was dirt. And then when they started running modifieds, we put a team together, and I think the last time I was here was probably '02.
So it's been so many seasons. When did you get the call to fill in this void in car number 60?
I think it was Wednesday.
So you had no idea you were coming to this race?
No, had no clue.
Since '02, have the rules, the cars, or anything about operating a modified changed?
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know, the same as it was. You know, as Jimmy showed, you got to keep all 4 wheels down and be a safe race. But yeah, the cars, the rules are a little bit different than what I'm used to from when I ran before, but they're still pretty much the same basic car. These guys have a heck of a race car, and I was just blessed to be able to get a chance to drive it.
Now, I know you only started with this team on Wednesday, so I'm going to ask a question you might not have the answer to. Who are the sponsors on this race car?
That's mean. But, I don't know. I guess it's Lacedo Auto Service and TCI bowling machine, which is kind of ironic because I race against Kevin on the dirt, so he built a nice deal here. I mean, these guys have a nice race car, and I'm just glad it's here in one piece.
Former champion returning to Motordrome Speedway in victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Flick. For the 2009 season at Motordrome Speedway, and the Piney Lasky Memorial 100 is underway. And hard into the wall goes Josh John in car 69 as he loses a wheel from that machine. Steve Black got into the outside wall trying to avoid the spin of the 69. We got other cars headed pit side that may have gotten a piece of that incident. Complete restart for the Piney Lasky Memorial 100. Green flag is displayed. And a crash at the front of the field, Barry Audi. Spinning is the 15 of Colt James, the 31 of Mark Catone, the track champion. Rolls to a stop but may have not made contact with Audi. Motordrome champions and the current Motordrome champion make up row number 1. Green flag is out. Mark Poole and Will Thomas in row 2. And a problem on the 31 of Catone headed into turn 1. And Mark Catone in car 31 rolls to a stop, the track champion from a front row starting position on this attempted restart. Barry Audi has tagged the tail of the field, and Mark Catone on pit lane. Green flag is out. Up front, we're 3 wide for the lead on lap number 1. Mark Poole, Bobby Henry, Will Thomas. Contact with Komarinsky, and Thomas makes a great save. Jack Smith is up to 3rd. An incredible lap 1. Finally in the books now. Bobby Henry, the front row starter, having some body damage showing now after the collision with Audi. Front fender has collapsed on the former champion's ride, and Will Thomas spins in front of Glenn Galt Jr. Drivers going everywhere to avoid contact, and another of the event favorites on lap number 2 spins on lap 2. Over Jack Smith, the Ohio Invader, and Bobby Henry in 11. Rick Miller 4th, John Komarinsky 5th. Green flag is back out. And Colt James still on the jacks on pit lane. Mark Catone will join this field on the lead lap. Mark Poole, the race leader, by about 8 to 10 car lengths over Jack Smith in 28. Rick Miller is the 3rd place driver. John Komarinsky is 4th and Bobby Henry 5th. Then it's Chris Bailey Jr. and George Scora the 3rd, 2 of the young lions in this field. Followed by Tommy Beck, Sean Pillis, Scott Baker, and Gary Wiltrout. Poole stretching out his advantage over Smith. Lap 5 of 100, and some heavy hitters at the back of this field, including Will Thomas, Glenn Galt Jr., and Mark Catone. Out of competition, it's Josh John, the New Yorker, in car 69, and 1 lap down by virtue of a pit stop, the 15 of Colt James. Sixth in turn 2, George Scora the 3rd in car 65. The New Yorker takes a position away from Chris Bailey Jr. They duel one another regularly at the Lake Erie Speedway on Saturday nights. Now challenging Bailey Jr., it's Tommy Beck in the 60 car. Beck has been a winner in 100 lap events before at Motordrome Speedway for the Benz Motorsports team, and they reunited late this year. Beck now into 7th. George Scora is 6th. Bobby Henry is 5th. Challenge for top 5 position on the back straight. George Scora in car 65. Moving to the inside of Bobby Henry, who has body damage. And Scora, the youngster, is on the scoreboard on lap 10, advancing into the 5th position. His first Motordrome start of 2009. Now it's going to be Tommy Beck's turn to challenge Bobby Henry. Henry, who started from the pole, then received damage in the Barry Audi incident. Falling back now as Beck grabs a position in the Integra Shocks. Stands Transmissions number 60. On lap 11, race leader Mark Poole encounters his first lap traffic as Dusty Rhodes goes down a lap. To the Howard Concrete Pumping, Donaldson Supply Chevrolet number 96. 2nd spot, Jack Smith in the 28. And he is being reeled in by the 3rd place racer, the Dunbar Dominator Rick Miller. Smith, the driver, in 2nd spot. A winner in his last visit to Motordrome Speedway back in 2006 for an ASA-sanctioned 100-lap affair. And he is backed up to Rick Miller's number 21 as Mark Poole is distancing himself from this field. John Komarinsky having an outstanding run here in the early going. It's lap 14 and Komarinsky in the 4th position, right behind the 3-time Motordrome champ Miller in car 21. Three cars racing under a blanket for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions. And Jack Smith wiggled the 28 car just a bit that time in turns 3 and 4. Now drifting up and opening the inside lane for the 21 of Rick Miller. And Miller powers to the inside. Opens the lane up for Komarinsky to do the same and in turn 4. Smith in. And Bobby Henry heads pit side. Bobby Henry pulling out of competition in car 11 here on lap 16. But watching the battle now, there's contact in turn 4 in the battle for third. John Komarinsky and Jack Smith. Jack Smith, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series racer. And John Komarinsky, the former Motordrome Pro Stock champion. In a fight for the third position as Rick Miller is now all by himself in second spot. George Scora is quickly gaining on this battle for third. The 65 car, the young New Yorker, making his first Motordrome start of this season. Very, very quick in these early stages of the event. Lap 19, and 3 cars in third, fourth, and fifth. The 28 of Jack Smith from Medina, Ohio. The 33 of John Komarinsky from Greensburg, Pennsylvania. And New York's George Scora in car 65. On lap 20, Komarinsky has the inside lane in turn 4. They touch again. And at the scoring line, Smith maintains an advantage by just inches, being officially scored in third, but now Komarinsky completes the pass in turn 2. The Marsula Electric Miller Lite #1 Cochran Chevrolet of John Komarinsky, number 33, into the third spot. He was a feature winner in NASCAR sanctioned racing last season here at Motordrome. Just in front of him, it's Rick Miller in second spot in car 21 all by himself, and with a straightaway advantage over the rest of this field. 84 Pennsylvania's Mark Poole in car 96 as we approach the 1/4 mark of the Piney Lasky Memorial 100 for 2009. Out of turn 4, the leader will begin to work lap number 25 of 100. Mark Poole with now more than a straightaway advantage over Rick Miller in car 21, and now a battle for fourth behind third place John Komarinsky, the 28 of Jack Smith and the 65 of George Scora. Both of those drivers have only 1 or 2 starts in their careers at Motordrome Speedway. Buckeye State versus Empire State, and young Scora diving to the inside of the veteran Smith and taking away fourth position. On lap 27, the question becomes, can Mark Poole keep up this torrid pace and not destroy his tires over a 100-lap grind? Headed into turn 1, Poole is approaching very heavy lap traffic, cars that are battling for position. And about to go a lap down is the winner of our June 100-lap special event, Sean Pilla, the Penn West Toyota Lift winner, going a lap down. Now fifth on the racetrack is Gary Wiltrout, but watching leader Mark Poole on the back straight in heavy lap traffic. Poole, the race leader, trying to thread his way between the 1 of Steve Black, the 44 of Gregory Kelly. And on the front straight, moving to the inside lane where sits the 83 of Joe Moose, the race leader Poole, threading his way through traffic here on lap 30 and finally finds some breathing room. After going a lap down on pit lane, the 15 of Colt James has passed his way back up to the 5th place car of Gary Wiltrout and looks fast enough to unlap himself as we are on lap 32 of 100. Colt James in the center of the back straight now has passed his way up to what would be the 4th position if he were a clean car, but going a lap down on the pit lane, James will have to eventually pass race leader Mark Poole, who sits exactly a half a track ahead of him. Poole's lead is now well over 1 straightaway over Rick Miller in the Brooks Automotive Group Bellevue Chassis Center. Number 21 Pontiac. And Komarinsky in car 33, feeling the pressure now of George Skora on the back straight, a side-by-side battle for 3rd. Komarinsky to the outside, Skora to the inside in the 65 car. Komarinsky wrestled that position away from the National Touring Pro Jack Smith, and now he's going to have to hold off one of New York's top young lions, George Skora, the 3rd generation racer. And here comes the lap down machine of Colt James reeling into that battle. Look at Colt James trying to scramble to the front of this field and get his lap back. The battle between Skora and Komarinsky rages on here on the front straight. Komarinsky still officially scored in 3rd on lap 37, but Colt James giving the fans something to watch. He's sideways nearly every lap and zooming up through this field, although he is 1 lap down as a result of the pit stop. Will Thomas is back up into the 6th position behind Gary Wiltrout after going to the tail of the field with his pit stop and spin. And as we are on lap 39, the track champion Mark Catone goes a lap down to Mark Poole. Next up will be former Lake Erie Speedway champion Glenn Galt going a lap down, as Poole's pace is unbelievable in the first third of this race. Here on the front straight, we go 3 wide with James, Skora, and Komarinsky. James just trying to get back up to the lead lap, and Komarinsky able to secure now by about 3 car lengths the 3rd position in which he had been riding, as we're on lap 42. And on the back straight, Mark Poole, the leader, is in heavy traffic. Glenn Galt Jr. and Robbie Marhefka, 2 second-generation racers, are fighting for position, and Mark Poole is right there. Now the leader clears the 99, the Clark-sponsored machine of Marhefka, and tries to put a lap down the Lennox-sponsored Snow King Roof Systems 32 of Galt. Here on lap 43, we turn our attention to the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and look at this, major changes. Headed into turn 3, George Skora Jr. is now in 3rd. Will Thomas, who was 6th just a moment ago, is 4th. Komarinsky is back to 5th, and Wiltrout back to 6th, as they are all trailing the 15 of Colt James, who's a lap down. Approaching the midpoint of this event, as we were watching the leader work through heavy lap traffic, all eyes now turn to turn 4, where George Skora III has made a pass of Komarinsky, who spins in turn 4, but gathers it back up. Lap 45 we are on, and the green flag stays out. Now Thomas has passed Skora. The number 9 car of Will Thomas will be officially listed in 3rd position as they reach the scoring line for lap 46. And after going to the tail of the field for a spin and pit stop, Sharpsville, Pennsylvania's Will Thomas may be one of the fastest cars on the racing surface. Race leader Mark Poole is about to put Jack Smith a lap down here on lap 48. And we got a spin right in front of the leader. Mark Poole jams on the brakes as Joe Moose is sideways to bring out the caution on lap 48. Green flag is back out. Mark Poole, Rick Miller, and Will Thomas. And George Skora gets into the outside retaining wall. The young New York driver who had climbed through this field into the top 5 bounces off the outside concrete on the restart with car 65. Now loses 2 positions, one to Barry Audi and one to Gary Wiltrot. Barry Audi is on the lead lap and up to the 4th position now. Barry Audi may be the fastest car on the speedway right now. Audi gains a couple of spots after Skora hits the wall, and now Skora and Komarinsky come together in turn 4. Jack Smith has to avoid contact by diving to the inside on the brakes. Komarinsky gathers it up, and Smith makes a great move to avoid an incident there. Race leader still Mark Poole, in second Rick Miller, and Will Thomas, who had a very impressive first half of the Piney Lasky Memorial 100, riding in third. He started up front, he spun, he went to the tail, he made a pit stop, and now he is riding in third. Same scenario for Barry Audi, as both of those drivers started near the front and spun. They are now third and fourth, working lap number 52. And the 5 of Sean Pilla cuts a tire down. Trying to make it to the pits, and caution flag will wave. As is the 60 of Tommy Beck. Green flag is waving. Beck coming out of the pits, not able to join his position with lead lap race cars, and Will Thomas in car 9 challenging for second spot. He and Rick Miller side by side, and the new runner-up to Mark Poole will be Will Thomas in car 9. Right now, Colt James in the 15 car is in position to be the next lucky dog should a caution flag come out. Jack Smith in the 28 is challenging George Skora now side by side on the front straight. That is for the 6th position, as Smith just made a pit stop for a tire change. He is to the inside of Skora. They are side by side. And Scott Baker in the 4 car has a problem. He had an axle problem earlier today that was rectified with a borrowed part from Rick Miller, and the 4 car limping toward pit lane. Can he get to the pits before? And Baker brings out the caution flag on the front straight. Lap 56, green flag is out. Mark Poole, the race leader. And now Will Thomas in second in car 9. Third, it's Rick Miller. Fourth, Barry Audi. The battle for 5th, it's George Skora and Jack Smith. Gary Wiltrot is right there as well. And here comes Colt James on the lead lap now. Racing to the inside of Skora's 65 car, they touch. Colt James gets into Skora's 65 car, but continues on. Mark Poole holding an advantage of about 2 car lengths over Will Thomas. Then Rick Miller back about 6 car lengths in third. And after the tire change, Jack Smith in 28 finds new life. They've made a couple of chassis adjustments. They've made a tire change. And the Ohio racer who races with the NASCAR Truck Series is door-to-door with Colt James. This is the battle for 6th, and we got a crash. A big crash in turn 4. Robbie Marhefka and the 44 of Gregory Kelly get together. Green flag stays out, but Kelly is limping down the front straight, and we need a caution flag. Robbie Marhefka broke off his fender, then took it with him, and Gregory Kelly is the reason for the caution. The D&K Sales and Service. Henry Motor Cars, Froggy 44 bringing out the caution flag. Lap 59, double file restart. Mark Poole and Will Thomas back to full speed. Side by side are the leaders. Thomas on the outside, Poole on the inside. Then Miller, Audi, and the battle for fifth between Wiltrout and Smith. It's lap 60, and now Poole finally breaks free from the door side of Will Thomas to a 1.5 car length advantage, and Jack Smith in 28 takes the fifth position away from former champion Gary Wiltrout. Here comes Colt James to challenge for sixth. Now that the 15 car is back on the lead lap after the Lucky Dog Award, he will take that spot away from Wiltrout, and the North Carolinian is in sixth position. Ohio in fifth, then Pennsylvanians at the front of this field. It's lap 62, and every driver inside the top 5 has won before at Motordrome. Mark Poole. Up front, Will Thomas, the PI&I Transport Colonial Metal Products number 9. Went to the tail of this field and is now second. Rick Miller has had a smooth, consistent run. He's all by himself in third. Then Barry Audi, who has pulled off nearly the same feat as Will Thomas, spinning, going to the back, and charging back to the front. Then Jack Smith and Colt James. As Sean Pilla heads down pit lane, his night is over. Lap 64, 2 battles in the top 5. Colt James in the 15, moving to the inside of Jack Smith, and behind them, Tommy Beck and Gary Wiltrout go door to door. James now takes over sole possession of fifth, and the 15 car is on the scoreboard for the first time. Tommy Beck, meanwhile, makes an inside pass of Gary Wiltrout. He's up to 7th spot after repeated pit stops with the 60 machine. Lap 67, and Mark Poole continues to lead. Will Thomas keeping him right in his sights. Mark Poole's pace at the start of this event was of such a rapid pace, tire wear should become a concern for that team at some point in this 100-lap grind. Dusty Rhodes pulls pit side, his night is over, and on the back straight, Barry Audi in the 75 is feeling the pressure of Colt James. That is the battle for 4th position. And James moves around the veteran from Jenners, Pennsylvania. And Colt James, the Texas-born racer, moving up to 4th spot, sending the Wheeler brothers, Stoystown Auto wrecking 75 of Barry Audi back into the 5th position. Here comes Tommy Beck passing Jack Smith. They are side by side on the front straight, and by a fender, Beck, officially here on lap 70, will be scored in the 6th position over the Ohio ace. Now secures the 6th spot, and here on lap 72, it's Barry Audi in 5th, Colt James in 4th, Rick Miller in 3rd, Will Thomas in 2nd, and Mark Poole, the race leader, by anywhere from a car length to 2 car lengths, depending on where they are in the speedway. Will Thomas, considerably more experience in 100-lap events than Poole. Thomas has won nearly every historic special event along the eastern seaboard. And Thomas was dominant in the 2 seasons of the Mid-Atlantic Asphalt Racing Alliance, picking up those championships and several wins along the way. Thomas able to stay glued to the inside of turn 4 each lap. And with 25 to go, it's still Mark Poole out in front. No lap traffic will be a factor for the leaders now for several circuits. 4th place driver Colt James gradually gaining just a little bit of ground on Rick Miller, and the leaders go side by side on the front straight. Lap 76, and Will Thomas with his best run on Mark Poole, still side by side down the back straight. 24 laps to go in the Piney Lasky Memorial 100. And out of turn 4, Will Thomas takes the point position from Mark Poole. Thomas with 2 Motordrome victories in his career, both weekly NASCAR sanctioned events. And now in the hunt and in the lead for over $5,000 here tonight in the Piney Lasky Memorial at Fall Festival 2. And now Poole falling back by about 6 or 7 car lengths, trying to put the Robbie Marhefka car a lap down. Laps to go. Will Thomas of Sharpsville, Pennsylvania, the race leader. In 2nd spot, Mark Poole. In 3rd, Rick Miller in 21. And Colt James in the 15, gaining on Miller. Thomas not eligible for the bounty bonus of $3,000 because he is inside the top 25 in Motordrome point standings. On the back straight, Rick Miller in car 21, closing in on the Rob Marhefka 99 car, just as Colt James in the 15 closes in on Miller for a position battle. They are 3rd and 4th, while Marhefka gets out of the way as a lapped car. Working lap number 83 of 100. Will Thomas opening up a big lead over Poole. Laps remaining for Will Thomas. Thomas at one point in his career viewed Motordrome Speedway as an Achilles heel. Took him a while to get to victory lane. He has 2 wins here, but has never won a special event of extra distance on this facility, and it's about the only one in the eastern United States on which he hasn't won a special event. Former Lake Erie Speedway champion who renewed that crown in 2009. Former Mara Series champion. Coming down the front straight, position battle here for the 7th spot. And we've got a spin as Colt James gets into the 21 of Rick Miller, and somebody got a piece of Miller's back bumper there. Contact inside the top 3 positions. Will Thomas and Mark Poole take the green flag. Let's see if Colt James can complete his run to the front. Mark Poole dropping back about 3 or 4 car lengths from the rear bumper of Will Thomas. Tommy Beck diving to the inside of Barry Audi to challenge for the fourth position that is. Lap 89. Top four now spaced out with Will Thomas, Mark Poole, Colt James, and Barry Audi. Then it's Tommy Beck in a side-by-side battle between John Komarinsky and Gary Wiltrout. 10 laps remaining. Will Thomas is opening up his advantage over Mark Poole. Colt James, who made a marvelous charge to the front, seems to have now leveled out, not gaining much, if any, on the 96 of Poole. Barry Audi a distant fourth, and Tommy Beck closing in on him. Only 7 laps to go, and the Sharpsville, Pennsylvania. Will Thomas out in front, looking for his 3rd career win at Motordrome, his first in a special event. And Colt James is finally closing in now noticeably on the 96 of Poole. James in the first half of this event blistered his way through cars, and now pulls up to the rear bumper of Poole. If he can make a pass for second, a caution flag would be very interesting with 5 laps remaining right now. James now just a car length behind Poole as they head into turn 3. The Texas native, now living in North Carolina, driving the 15 car. Tried to get down to the inside and wobbled a bit on the front straight, but now has a good run in turn 2 to the inside of Poole. Poole fends him off, and this time the race leader out of turn 4 sees the signal of 2 laps to go in the Piney Lasky Memorial 100. Battle for second may be decided right at the finish line. Barry Audi 3rd, Tommy Beck 4th, John Komarinsky back there as well. And the white flag now for Will Thomas in car 9. He has won at the Oswego Speedway. He's won at the Lancaster Speedway. He's won at the Holland Speedway. He's won at Lake Erie. He's won at Jennerstown. And a back straight, Mark Poole is into the inside wall. Caution flag as he drifts back up across the racetrack. And the battle for second boils over on the final lap. It'll be green, white, checkered. And now Barry Audi in second, Tommy Beck in third, John Komarinsky in fourth, Gary Wiltrout in fifth. Green flag waves. Barry Audi has climbed to the front just like Will Thomas after an early race spin and pit stop. We are 3 wide on the back straight for 5th position. Scora, Wiltrout, and Miller. That action settles down, and Will Thomas opens up a 4-5 car length advantage at the wave of the white flag. He's won at the Holland Speedway in New York. He's won at the Oswego Speedway in New York. He's won at Lancaster Speedway, Lake Erie Speedway, Jennerstown Speedway, Motordrome Speedway in New Smyrna, Florida. And adding to his list of prestigious victories, Will Thomas wins the Piney Lasky Memorial 100 over Barry Audi, John Komarinsky, Tommy Beck, and Gary Wiltrout. And some after effects. Colt James goes for a spin. Rick Miller in the grass. Well, Will Thomas, if somebody tomorrow who is in the stands here tonight says, yeah, that guy set fast time and then won the feature, they will be missing the biggest part of the story of this race. Let's talk first about the opening laps. Your starting position improves because of some failed starts, and then disaster strikes. What's going through your mind early in this race?
From when I unloaded on Thursday and we worked on this race car, I knew I had a great race car. I was not worried about that at all at that point in time. I thought everybody needed to calm down. Something happened down coming off of 2 with me and Glenn. I know he didn't mean to do it on purpose. I didn't know he was there, and we ended up going to the back. And I mean, this is a hot rod. This thing is awesome. So it's great. I mean, I got to thank all you fans for coming. Next year, bring more. We got to thank Stanley Lasky and the whole Lasky family. And this is a great race. I'm thrilled. I'm almost speechless.
When we talked to you after qualifying and you set fast time for this field, I mentioned that you had told me a couple years ago that this place had been a thorn in your side for a little while. It took you a long time to figure out the Motordrome Speedway. I have a hunch that tonight's win is going to change your opinion about how you feel about this place going forward.
This race car's bad news here. This thing's real good. So, I mean, I didn't like Motordrome till tonight, really. But this race car's flawless. This race car was better on lap 90 than it was on lap 5.
Now, is this a car that you competed with at the Lake Erie Speedway, or is this a car just for bigger half miles?
No, this is our Lake Erie Speedway car. We won a championship with this car. Ooh, we got brawl.
Well, there was plenty of drama with you coming from the back of the field to the front, and we want to give you the opportunity to thank all of your sponsors and all of your crew that worked so hard from Thursday on to get you to victory lane in this prestigious event.
I got to thank my dad. Without my dad, none of this would happen. None of it. I'd be sitting at home dreaming about being a race car driver. So I got to thank my dad. I got to thank my girlfriend. I got to thank Dennis Knight, who's with me at the shop week in and week out, every night. I got to thank Merrick Paluch. I got to thank Greg Hoover, who took a year off to help us this year. I got to thank everybody. And where's he at? Where's that other guy? Where's Jamie at? I got to thank this guy right here, too. Jamie Rouleau. Rouleau Racing Dynamics, unbelievable. You know, Jamie came up here with me this weekend, and he worked, and he worked. I'll guarantee we worked harder than any team in the pits. I mean, we almost missed qualifying because they were still working. It's unbelievable.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, winning the second running of the Piney Lasky Memorial at Motordrome Speedway, Will Thomas. A championship contender all season long and a winner this season, Barry Audi, with an excellent run. Just like the guy that took the checkered flag, you had a good starting spot, disaster strikes early, and you work your way all the way back up through this field. Had to be a roller coaster of emotions for you out there tonight.
Yeah, I really got to thank Bobby Henry for running out of talent on that first lap. I really appreciate that a lot.
Now, when you came in afterward, did you get a chance to put new tires on, or is the same tires that spun on this car still on it right now?
Well, his exhaust sticks out about 4 inches, and he flattened my left rear tire. I had about 300 lap, an old junk tire to put on the left rear. Thank him for that, too.
Now that you've battled back to a second position in a race in honor of a great friend of yours, Piney Lasky, this season had to come to a close for you in a way that actually is going to be pretty good. You were smooth and consistent all year. You got back to victory lane, and now into the second position. Barry Audi in car 75 with a fantastic run from the rear of this field in the Wheeler Brothers Stoystown 75. The driver from Greensburg, Pennsylvania in car 33, John Komarinsky. And John, I'll tell you, most of your great runs here at Motordrome Speedway have been in the 40, 50-lap feature events. Now in a 100-lap feature event, you're finishing on the podium. Was that car set up perfectly for 100 laps, or was this all driver and a separate approach to a 100-lap feature that brought you this great finish tonight?
No, the car was a handful at times. It was really loose. Actually, the cautions helped me out, especially the long cautions, because the tires cooled down. And like this last caution, that's how I got third. I mean, it was the tires got cooled, but I was pretty loose on a long run, so the cautions actually helped me. But I think I broke my 100-lap jinx, because every 100-lapper I always had bad luck, and hopefully we broke the jinx now.
You know, your feature victory here in the NASCAR late models came, I believe, on opening night it was, and now here we are on a cool weather evening. Is it suffice to say that maybe the 33 car works a little bit better on cool evenings for you?
That's probably pretty good. We're usually better in the spring and better at the end of the season. So middle of summer is when I have most of my trouble. So yeah, we're better with cooler weather, no doubt.
And a chance to thank your sponsors and crew for this great third place finish.
Thank Greensburg Beverage and the Miller Lite sponsorship, and Marcella Electric, Advanced Auto Parts, Hands On Concepts, and hey, this feels great to get this top 3.
He'll be posing for victory lane photographs. Third place, John Komarinsky. Christoffel, a feature winner this season. The 11 is Vic Keller, and the 51 is Mary Catherine Shimko as the green flag waves. "25 laps the distance tonight for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers." Oh, Jimmy Christoffel nearly takes the outside wall. The 11 of Vic Keller was destroyed in the heat race, so he has borrowed the Dustin Blank machine and renumbered it 11. Up front, the 48 of Ed McConnell gets a little bit crossed up. Zane Farrell in 14 makes a pass for the lead. Tracy Keller comes right along with him. And now McConnell from first to third in 1 lap. Roger Bryan is fourth. Challenge for the 4th position, Ron Eifert III in 61 takes a spot away from Bryan in the 12. Eifert, a graduate of the 4-cylinder division. Four laps of 25 are in the books, and Zane Farrell is the race leader. The go-kart racer who leaped right into asphalt charger competition for the first time this season and picked up a pair of victories as a teenage rookie. Tracy Keller in 2nd spot from Asheville, Pennsylvania, the 06 division champion. In 3rd spot, Ron Eifert III. Another rookie driver. He won last season in the Super Compacts. This season, he wins in the Chargers as a rookie in car 61. Then the 48 of Ed McConnell. And speaking of rookies, the 51 car, making a first ever start in an 8-cylinder machine. It's Mary Catherine Shimko, the teenager from Keisterville, about to go a lap down. Seven laps of 25 completed. Zane Farrell, Tracy Keller out in front. Ron Eifert in 3rd. Ed McConnell in 4th. Roger Bryan in 5th. While the top 4 drivers have separated themselves from the rest, there are 2 battles, 2 wide for positions. The 12 of Roger Bryan is to the inside of the 43 of Chris Spadacine. Spadacine has 2 career wins in this division, 1 last year, 1 this year. And he's only raced a part-time schedule both seasons. The Minjock Racing entry number 43, then the 12 of Bryan. And then the car that had been 48, that became 18, that became 11 with Vic Keller at the wheel now. The 04 of Christoffel. Challenge now for the 4th position as Spadasine closes in on the 48 of McConnell. McConnell in a borrowed ride tonight. This is the machine typically driven by Ed Neidhart. Oh, hard impact with Spadasine into the outside wall. He was just challenging for the 4th position when that happened. Green flag is back out, lap 13 of 25, and it's car 14. Zane Farrell showing the way. On a weekly basis here in Friday night racing action, the Chargers are not only one of the highest car count divisions, but also the division with the most different winners, and for some reason this weekend, a slim count of the Chargers in attendance. The Charger cars are 8-cylinder, rear-wheel drive, automatic transmission cars. They are required to be automatics. These cars are the second step up in the weekly racing ladder in the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series above the 4-cylinder super compacts. In this division, automatic transmissions are required to prevent some of the gear tampering to keep them as street performing as possible, and they compete on street tires. 10 laps to go. Leader Zane Farrell, Tracy Keller in second, Ron Eifert the third in third. It looks like the young Zane Farrell is going to run away with this one to the finish, but Ron Eifert, the other youngster in this field, is closing in on Tracy Keller. Of course, both those drivers tonight take a back seat to the youngest driver in the field, which is Mary Catherine Shimko. Eifert's young, Farrell's younger, and Shimko younger than that, as she goes a lap down on the back straight in her first ride in an 8-cylinder machine. Working lap 18. 04 of Jimmy Christoffel, a winner this season, closing in on McConnell's ride. Side by side, the battle for 4th. Christoffel's Oldsmobile to the outside of McConnell's Monte Carlo. And Christoffel dirt tracks the car out of turn 2, nearly collects the wall, but still within about a car length of challenging McConnell for that position. Lap 22 and the battle for 4th intensifies as Christoffel has a fender out in front of McConnell. Christoffel was a multiple feature winner here a couple of seasons ago, then took a whole year off and brought out this new 04 car just after the midpoint of the season and still found victory lane in 09. As there are 2 laps to go, and Zane Farrell has put a hurtin' on this field. White flag waving, and the teenager, the rookie, 2 times a winner in the regular season, and now looking to pick up a win in the biggest race of the season in terms of laps and purse, out of turn 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Zane Farrell caps off an outstanding rookie season with another checkered flag. Coming home in second, it's Tracy Keller. Third, it's Ron Eifert the third. Jimmy Christoffel in 4th, and Ed McConnell in 5th. Zane, we got a Subway gift certificate for you. I was telling the fans that you're a rookie, you're a teenager, and in your first season now, 3 wins, including a big special event. Could you have dreamed this season to go any better?
Nope, no farther. This is incredible.
Now, 25 laps, this is a lot longer than your regular race. Did you feel any difference in the handling coming to the end? Was it harder on the tires? Did the track change at all?
Yeah, about the last 10 laps, it kind of got tighter and tighter, and then the last lap, a couple laps, I tried to take it easy. I seen I had a big lead and just try to take it easy.
I know your family, big supporters here. Any chance with this success you're going to be asking for a late model anytime soon?
If somebody came up to me and offered me one, I'm not going any farther now.
You were up in the stands watching that race tonight, weren't you?
Yep.
And then came down just in time to race.
Yep.
He's a race fan and a racer. How about a chance to thank the sponsors and crew?
I'd like to thank Linda Brown's Floral. Where's Aunt Linda at? There she is. She's my sponsor. She's been with me forever. Chet Joseph's, West Newton Bike Shop. They built a great motor for me. R&R Tree Service are really great. It's like, can't thank them enough for a good season.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Zane Farrell in victory lane in car 14 with the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. 77, Dave McAvoy from the Erie Speedway. The 3-car, Steve Settle from West Leisenring. Green flag is out. 31, Bill Schwartz. 1, Paul Koffler Sr. 48, Paul Koffler the third. 21, Mitch Freilich. 83, Matt Sever. 14, Kevin Keffer. 43, Dan Brink. 71, Troy Knight. 76, Jessica Knight. 47, Mark Tringes Jr. 51, Jamie Hebner. 44, Mary Catherine Shimko. 25 laps the distance. And 47X is Mark Tringes Sr. And the early race leader is Dave McAvoy. Race leader Dave McAvoy competes in the modifieds at Lake Erie in addition to racing this car on occasion up there. And he is ahead of the 31 of Bill Schwartz and our track champion in the 83, Matt Sever. The 3-car in 4 spot, Steve Settle, he competes here with the Charger division on a weekly basis. And look at this, 3 wide on the back straight. It's Koffler, Brink, and then a couple of newcomers. That's Freilich and Hebner. We're still going to be 3 wide on the back straight. Oh, look at this action. 5 cars battling for about 1.5 inches of racetrack back there. These are 4-cylinder cars, street passenger vehicles on street tires, and they're getting turned around out of turn 4. Dan Brink takes a hard shot from the 76 of Jessica Knight. She continues on, and the caution flag will wave. 43 car of Dan Brink is a brother to the modified driver Chris Brink. Talk about having a racing hometown. Driver of car 43, Dan Brink, is from Marion Center, Pennsylvania. Racing at the top of the hill for about 47 years in Marion Center, Pennsylvania with the quarter-mile dirt track. Sports restarting from third, then Steve Settle, Paul Koffler the third, and the 51 of Jamie Hebner, the State Line Erie's dirt car, number 51. That's right, the blue 51 is a dirt track car, and now we got a battle for the lead. Sever in car 83 poses the first threat to Dave McAvoy's lead, and it looks like Sever will take the point position from the outside invader. Working lap 6 of 25. Challenge for 5th position, the 51 of Jamie Hebner, the New Yorker, challenging the 48 of Paul Koffler the third. Nine of 25 laps completed. And Hebner takes that spot away, so we got 2 New Yorkers now inside the top 5. Hebner with his dirt car, number 51. Matt Sever putting some distance between himself and the 77 of McAvoy. Forget what I said a moment ago, race fans. The lead interval is now dwindling as McAvoy, the Erie Speedway modified racer, is now gaining ground on the teenager. The track champion, Matt Sever's the race leader, and McAvoy, who lost the lead to Sever, has now figured something out about the Motordrome Speedway and is starting to reel him in. At the midpoint of this event, the crossed flags signal halfway. Mary Catherine Shimko in the 44 car about to go a lap down. Contact on the back straight, top 5 position, making a change there. It's the 47 of Mark Tringes Jr. who takes away a spot from the 51 of Jamie Hebner. Hebner now off the scoreboard in 6th. And slowly, Dave McAvoy is closing in on Matt Sever, the race leader. It's a very slow gain, but it is a gain nonetheless, especially in turn number 1. It seems like McAvoy is clearly faster than Sever there, but Sever seems to get him beat down the back straight and into turn 3. Mark Tringes Sr. heads pit side in the 47 car as we work lap 17 of 25. Leaders begin heading for lapped traffic. And now Matt Sever is pulling away from the 77 of McAvoy. Thought we might have a lead battle coming up in the next few laps, and now 2 lap cars and plenty of real estate separating the leaders with 7 laps to go. Outstanding run for Bill Schwartz in the 3rd position. 4th spot it's Steve Settle, the dirt track 4-cylinder racer who was a Charger rookie this year and won a feature. The battle for 5th rages on as Mark Tringes Jr. in 47 and the 51 of Jamie Hebner are going at it. How about this for you sports fans? There was a longtime Pittsburgh Pirate named Richie Hebner, and his number was 51, just like the car number of Jamie Hebner from New York. .21 laps in the books, and Tringes in the 47 is now way off the pace, going a lap down to leader Sever. Two laps to go. And just like the late model drivers defended the Motordrome turf from all the outside invaders, Matt Sever in car 83 is poised to defend the Motordrome turf from the Coca-Cola Super Compact invader of Dave McAvoy. Final time around, and the teenager, the high school football star, the resident of West Newton, Pennsylvania, the Motordrome track champion, Matt Sever takes the checkered flag over Dave McAvoy. Bill Schwartz coming to a 3rd place finish. Steve Settle will finish in 4th, and the 51 of Jamie Hebner finishing 5th. I want to talk to you for a minute about these last couple weeks of the season. Do you want to explain to the race fans why this car would sit unused in the heat race and then jump onto the back of a feature event?
I wasn't here. We had to go play some football every Friday night for the team, and I did everything I could to get here on time. I was changed on the ride over and everything. It was crazy on the ride over and stuff. But I got to thank my dad for driving like crazy to get me here. And I got to thank everyone who helped us. I know a lot of people in the pits were looking after us and stuff like that. I got to thank all them. And it was crazy, but we accomplished what we set out to do, and I was pretty happy about that.
What position do you play on the football team?
Center and defensive tackle, and that's what was kind of tough because I didn't know whether we could actually pull this off, starting both ways and racing too, but we did it.
Now let me ask you, on a Friday night, you play center, then you play defense, so you're on both sides of the football, then you come here to drive a race car. I'm guessing you don't jump out of bed all full of energy on a Saturday morning, is that right?
Have to. We have film at 9 every morning on Saturday, so you don't have much of a choice. You pretty much have to do it, and then when you come home, you unload the car and do whatever you got to do. But I don't know, Sunday I like to calm down a little bit and take a break, get ready for Monday again. But hey, we got to do what we got to do, and if you got to want it, you know, we had to finish off what we set out to do, and we did it.
And here he is in victory lane with one more chance to thank the sponsors and crew for a championship season.
Oh, I got to thank all these guys. This has been an unbelievable year. This is number 10 for us, and I don't know how we got here, but got to thank EESI, Lux Brothers. I know a lot of them came out tonight. Mr. and Mrs. Martinelli, they help us out so much, and it's been a great year. I got to thank my mom, my dad, everyone who comes and supports us every week, because without them, this wouldn't be what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the track champion in victory lane for the biggest event of the season.